Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine.
So we are today in the Honda Dublin. We're gonna throw leg over the brand new Africa Twin, but this is not the adventure sport. This is the standard with 21-inch Africa Twin with electronic suspensions and DCT gearbox. Drive Sports 2. We try Sports 2. It's a bit strange that you don't have a clutch lever. This is the handbrake. So what we have over here, it's a parallel twin 1084 cc cubics engine. Which gives you 100 brake horsepower. And 100, I think so, 12 or 17 Newton meters of torque. It's quite big, heavy machine. So that's why I'm wonder how this big machine can cope with 100 brake horsepower engine. Riding automatic gearbox is like riding kind of scooter. Bike does it everything for you, but also you have a shifters. You can manually drop down the gears, go up with the gears, or put the gearbox completely in manual mode. All the switches over here looks quite busy, and it's not so intuitive when you look at them. When you jump from the other bike, you don't really familiar with those buttons. Like for the first time, it's very strange feeling riding this bike. You can definitely feel the weight of the bike, like, you know, you can definitely feel how big is this bike at the front. Manual adjusted screen, unfortunately you cannot adjust on fly. You have to stop and then just with the both hands adjust the screen. Sitting position, very straight up. Enough room in your legs. It's quite torquey. That's why you don't feel the lack of power on this bike, because there's a lot of torque. Just wanted to do some experiment and confirm what the other people says. So the thing is, when you have an Africa Twin with a DCT gearbox, when you let off the handles, you can feel how the bike is pulling into the right hand side. Of course you will never ride with the handles of the handlebar, but I know what the people meant, because all the weight of the gearbox is sitting on the right hand side. Bike is just pulling to the right. I can demonstrate this one more time. Yeah, I can correct it. I can feel like bike is going these directions. Cockpit looks quite nice, quite busy as well, loads of different readings. So if you never rode Africa Twin before, it may look for you quite busy. Same like those buttons, loads of things, loads of switches, loads of different information. So we are in the tour mode at the moment with auto changing gears. You can change on the fly different modes. That's very strange feeling when you don't have a clutch lever. The gear changes are very nice, very smooth, but I don't know if I'm fully sold to automatic gearbox. I would like to have a full control, so when you actually ride the bike you don't feel how heavy is this bike. But when you start pushing around, definitely 250 kilo plus will let you know this is not a joke. This is heavy bike. Oh, turning circle is very good. So let me see what we have over here. Okay, so that was the highest position. So you have to click over here and just move screen. Definitely 21-inch front wheel. It's just not that easy to turn as the 19. So probably if I will go for the Africa Twin, the 19-inch front wheel will be the option to go for. However, if you plan ride any off-road with that heavy, top heavy bike, maybe 21-inch will be better option for you. So as you can see, this is the lowest seat position, and I can put my foot fully on the ground. Yes, as a touring bike, I can see why this bike is so popular. You can sit on it and just ride, eat the miles. Also looks nice. Plus Honda reliability, it's very good. The semi-active suspension, oh, it's so beautiful. Like, you know, still you have a, like, you know, long travel suspension, but that electronic suspension while you're braking with the front brake, harder that suspension, so it's not that much diving with them. Of course you can still feel as the bike is just slightly diving in, but it's just prevent completely, like, you know, that big heavy movement, diving movement. So yes, very nice. Like I said, my only criticism at the beginning, so when I jump on this bike, is just it's way too busy. Obviously those buttons has functions, but for somebody who never owned or never ridden Africa Twin, definitely it will be kind of intimidating thing to play with it. It's too busy, too many. Obviously, like, you know, with everything, after a while you're gonna get used to. you will know exactly which button does what. Nice, it's nice torque from the bottom. First impression is it's very good, very nice planted motorbike. Obviously, like, you know, people will tell you, oh, 100 brake horsepower is, you know, you have a more torque than the other bikes. Yes, but extra power I wouldn't be, like, you know, refusing if they will give me. So hopefully Honda, maybe with the next revision, with the next generation, will slightly increase the power of this bike. There's never enough power, like, you know, like for the road cruising. Yeah, it's nice because you don't have that crazy power which is so tempting and lets you all the time break the speed limit. With this one you can still slowly cruise around in comfortable position, and if you wanna, you can just twist the throttle, get gear or two down, and you still have that kind of power to take off. The wind protection, it's okay. It's not really wide, the screen is not really wide, so I still feel slightly wind on my shoulders, as with the most of the bikes. The only big criticism to this windscreen is that you have to stop to be able to adjust that screen. You cannot do it on the fly, at least safely you can't. So this bike has a CarPlay and a touchscreen. Unfortunately, the screen you cannot use as a touchscreen while you're riding. It's locked, so it's only unlocked when you stop. The CarPlay is a nice feature, but you have to remember, even with the 2024 model, you have to connect your phone with the cable, so it's not the Bluetooth connection. Yeah, now I can see why this bike is so popular. It's not like, you know, scary big power monster bike, bit lack of power, but at the same time allows you to ride sensible. When you twist the throttle, the power is very linear. My option, if I will decide to buy, or if I will go for the Africa Twin, will be that new Adventure Sport with 19-inch front wheel, which obviously smaller wheel, better turns, better feeling on the twisties. Still better option for the smaller people because the seat height, it's lower from 835 I think so to 855 if I'm not mistaken. This with the DCT gearbox is a cruiser, it's a real cruiser. You just sit nice high and you can move around. Riding adventure bike, it's so nice because you have a lot of suspension travel. So adventure bikes, it's all the bumps so nicely, especially this one on the Africa Twin, where they just semi-active, they just wow. You probably heard many times, riding like on magic carpet, you don't feel anything at all, just eats all the bumps and road imperfections so well. Seat is nice, but I think it's still a bit firm for my bum, so I don't know how long you can just sit on this bike. So just after a couple minutes of riding, quite figure out what is what. At least at this site it's so easy, because you have a start stop button, you have an automatic manual gearbox switch, then you have a neutral, and changing from driving mode to the sport mode. Over here you have a, like, you know, cruise control. At the back you have a function button, and on this side horn, lights. At the back you have a shifter up, shifter down, indicators, and still quite few buttons that probably, you know, you have to play with them when you do changes on the screen, on the preload, traction control, ABS. So yes, after a while you're gonna learn them. So maybe they look scary, they look busy, but definitely you're gonna learn them. And when you're gonna own this bike, it's just matter of days or hours when you're gonna learn them. Sand, I tell you, sand is nice from that parallel twin 1000cc engine. The stock exhaust is just sparkling, so nice. It's not noisy, but it's nice kind of grandy noise coming out. I really like it. I really like it. I would just risk my opinion. Maybe it's gonna sound controversial, but I think I would prefer the Africa Twin in the sport, adventure sport trim over the GS. Like, don't get me wrong, if they will offer me more power, I will take it with the Africa Twin, but still you can nicely cruise around with that's what you have at the moment. The ergonomics very, very nice. I think that's what is about the adventure bike. I think the previous GS 1250, 1200 in my idea were pure adventure bikes. The new GS 1300, it's more like, you know, sport tourer bike. Slightly lost that adventure style. Yes, 21-inch wheel, front wheel, doesn't give you that kind of balance over the bends. You can still ride it quite fast, but smaller wheels will give you, like, you know, more confident. Also there's more tires sticking to the tarmac, so more safety. Now we go with manual over those bends. I have to say, I'm very, very positively surprised with this motorbike. Like, now I fully understand the phenomenon of the Africa Twin. Like, you know, there is people obsessed about the GSs and the people obsessed about the Africa Twin, and I now fully understand why. Because with this bike everything is so right, so well put together. Like I said, that's your own preferences if you want to go for the manual automatic gearbox. Depends what kind of rider you are, or what kind of riders you want to do it. Yeah, with manual path shifting gears it feels so nice, because I can just let the bike go up the revs much higher before they change the gears. This year's, if you want to have a nice, well built and well equipped bike, you have to pay top of the money. They're quite expensive. So let me say the 2024 Africa Twin Adventure Sport with small 19-inch front wheel. It only comes with electronic suspensions and manual gearbox. Over here in Ireland is 21,000 euros, and it comes with the electronic suspension, heated grips, but still you have to pay extra for the central stand, and still you have to pay extra if you want to have a quick shifter. So that bumps up the price even higher. Automatic gearbox, if I remember correctly, is I think about 1,500 more expensive. So still, if you want a central stand, you have to pay extra for the central stand. So they're quite pricey. They are in territory of the BMW 1300 GS. But I tell you, I test drove the GS 1300, and in my personal opinion, I like more the Africa Twin. Have to say, I really like the position, really like the comfort. Seat definitely is not that plush. It's updated. I'm not sure if it's updated on the all Africa 2024 models or just only on the Adventure Sport. It's nice, roomy, but a little bit harsh. I think the Tiger 900s and 1200s GT Pro Rally Pro, they had much nicer, more cushioned seats than this one. But riding ergonomics, I can tell you, very nice, very straight up. It's enough leg room and enough power to cruise around. Yes, really like.